Go viral. Last night, Joel Embiid and the Sixers were here in New York to face the Knicks. Embiid posted 26 points, 14 rebounds, but it was this moment that had the internet abuzz. Joel going after a loose ball, almost hits Regina King.
Oh!
Yes, the same Regina King who's up for an Oscar. After the game, she tweeted, "Thank you, God, and Joel Embiid for your athletic abilities. Crisis averted." With the praying hands emoji.
Yeah, I mean, it took some athleticism to not really injure some people there, Joel.
Oh, yeah, she lucky she didn't pay for that whole thing of hair. Now, thank goodness she only had a little bit of weave up in there, because if her ponytail would have been that much longer, she would have caught one of those size 18s. Oh, man, he just missed it. The ponytail,
so
because there's a different length to it, you know.
Yeah.
I bought a lot of hair in my day, bro. I know
my
this.
man Chris.
No, I didn't put some money down on hair. I know these things. Joel Embiid saw that. He been here in America enough. He know.
He saw that.
He's been here in America. He jumped over the woman and landed right in the guy's lap.
Protect the weave.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, when you go there and you're selecting hair, sometimes don't get
36 inches.
Holla.
I bought
Nick Wright
my life too.
There we go, full confession. That's what I want. What, Nick Wright? I done bought some hair in my day.
It's a true story.
All right. Well, while we're all enjoying the moment, I'm going to move on with stories to start your morning. The Warriors
I'm going to get
fell.
ready to introduce you to
To the weave.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have you a couple ponytails next week.
Okay, all right. I'm in. I'm on board. I like it.
Jenna?
The Warriors fell to the Blazers. It wasn't pretty, 129-107, but the headline out of this, Steve Kerr, his ejection. Golden State's head coach was tossed after slamming the clipboard protesting a flagrant foul call on Draymond Green with under 4 minutes to go. Nick, what'd you think?
Listen, tough loss for the Warriors. The Blazers got 8 points on the possession in question here. It was a terrible flagrant foul call on Draymond Green, but I give Steve Kerr credit. I think he knew that Draymond was going to explode, so he did it preemptively. And he said, if I lose my mind, Draymond's not going to.
Right.
And you'd rather Kerr get ejected than Draymond potentially get suspended.
And there's a couple times during the year.
Yeah.
If you're coaching Golden State, you need a couple of these. It's like I tell the kids I'm coming into the locker room. Now, I don't want y'all to sit too close to the chalkboard because I'm getting ready to throw a chair. Sometimes you need that, especially extra motivation for this Warriors team. They were trying to win this game, though. Trailblazers played well.
Yeah, terrible fourth quarter for Golden State.
Moving on, the Celtics beat the Pistons 118-110 behind a balanced scoring attack. 6 different Celtics scored in double digits. None of them reached 20 points. Boston is now 9-2 without Kyrie Irving. See, what do you make of that?
Man, you never like to think, because I'm a guy about talent. The more talented guys you have there, the better your chances are winning. But there are some instances that, man, whatever you see does not appear to be real.
Okay.
And without Kyrie Irving, who is their best player, they play better team basketball when he's injured. That's all. I can't explain it no better than that.
It's so odd because all the metrics say they're so much better with him on the court than off the court. He's having his best season of his career. He's distributing the ball more this season than any year of his career.
And if I was one of the teams in the East, I would rather play them.
Without him.
Of
course. But 9-2, it's a small sample, but it's not a tiny sample size. So it is something, it's something at least to note.
This is the biggest problem.
Something to note.
The run they went on last year in the playoffs without Kyrie.
Right.
And this year, they're better.
All right, so the big news out of the NFL now, the Broncos are trading for Joe Flacco, which means Case Keenum is the odd man out. Denver reportedly shopping a big free agent acquisition from last offseason. CC, can Case Keenum help a team in need of a quarterback?
Well, let's look at the teams that might need a quarterback. Jacksonville. Could he actually help Jacksonville? Like, let's not change the narrative on who Case Keenum is. No, he's not the guy that's going to put a team over the top. Like, listen, he is someone that, I can't afford that Mercedes. Let me get me something else that's going to be reliable for about 12 months.
An Acura.
No. Acura's more reliable than him.
Yeah, no.
I said 12 months.
I'd say he's a nice, under warranty Ford Fiesta. Listen, you know what team could really use Case Keenum? A team that has an overrated, aging, expensive quarterback. The Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos, he's getting replaced by Listen, I think Case is better than Flacco, and he's lost his job to Flacco. I think Case is probably about the 28th best starting quarterback in football. There's 32 teams. The problem is a bunch of those teams, guys he's better than, are young guys that teams want to give a chance to. And so he's probably going to be a backup.
Yeah, neither one of them better than Cal.
No.
Wait, I'm throwing a name out there. The Giants of Pat Shermer.
I'm throwing something else out there. Jenna Wolf, a little pocket shaming, saying, what's wrong with an actor, Jenna? How long do you add money? Exactly. You mocking that?
Okay, no. Finally, could two of the best wide receivers in football be on the move? We know Antonio Brown has asked for a trade from the Steelers. When asked to make a bold prediction, Fox's Jay Glazer said that the Giants would deal Odell Beckham Jr. this offseason. Nick, we know it was just a prediction from Glazer, but if both were available via trade, which of these wideouts would you rather have, AB or Odell?
Odell, even though AB's been more productive. Odell is younger. Odell, I do not believe, is a locker room issue the way Antonio is. Now, he might be a distraction issue. He might pop off at the mouth and sit next to a high out his mind Lil Wayne once a year. He might put some odd things on the gram, but we have talked to Snacks Harrison, we have talked to Saquon Barkley. Every Giant player we've talked to has said, man, I love Odell Beckham. Like that he is within those, for a lot of those guys, he's a good friend and teammate, and I think his talent level is undeniable. Now, the injury concern, all of a sudden, he's one more injury away, I would say, from being an injury risk. Right? His rookie year, he had the sprained ankle, made him miss time. 2 years ago, he broke his leg. And then last year, he missed time at the end of the year. So I don't think it's a trend yet, but it could become one. But Antonio, because of how volatile he's become within the team and outside of the team with some of the potential legal issues, I would rather have Odell Beckham now and moving forward than Antonio.
And we have to be able to grant Odell the type of time and a number of different mistakes that AB has made there. I mean, they're not the same age. It's not the same comparison. AB has been more productive. He's also had a lot better quarterback. Also had a lot better offense that he played in, actually knew what they were doing, went on the field with a plan of what they were going to do. So
stability in coaching.
Yeah, so I don't think that trying to compare them and their numbers is the right thing to do. If we're on the football field, Odell can do more. I think Odell is a smarter football player. Now, AB is just productive, and he's been in that system. He's mastered that system. So at this point, I would much rather have Odell, but realizing that Odell might show up one day and be like, I don't want to be here either. That's the state of both of these wide receivers. So I can understand why Jay Glazer, I wouldn't be surprised if Odell didn't play his whole career in New York. I talked to Odell at the Super Bowl, had a couple long conversations with him. So Odell is still growing as a young person and being in New York City. I know people talk about it a lot, but most of those people have never played in New York City. So I'm not going to say Odell doesn't want to play in New York, but the world is open. And when you have a home in Los Angeles in the offseason, I'm just sure it would have a certain pull on you and continue to pull on you. And I just believe that Odell will have that type of interest in other teams.
Flirtation, yeah.
Yes.
And when both the LA teams are really good. Both the LA teams were 12-plus win teams this year. Yesterday, we were talking about Antonio. You were very angry with Antonio. You want him shipped to Buffalo as some punitive measure. In an odd way, I think where Antonio gets traded to could have an impact on Odell's disposition. And by that, I mean this. If Antonio gets traded to a great situation in a great city with a good quarterback and is rewarded for this, then Odell might look at it and say, man, sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the exact grease they want. And if Antonio's traded to Buffalo, or a situation similar, Jacksonville, Odell might look at it and say, okay, the Giants might not be perfect, and Eli might not be my ideal quarterback, but it sure as hell could get worse. And so I do think it'll be instructive as to where if Antonio is rewarded for what's happened this year, or if he's penalized, and whether or not that has a trickle-down effect on Odell's disposition moving forward with the Giants.
And I wouldn't be surprised if New England looked at trading for a wide receiver. One in particular, AB. I wouldn't be surprised with them having the 32nd pick in the first round, and he's already got 3 more years. That's a perfect contract for them. And his agent, you can't strong-arm New England.
No.
You have to come to work once he said, I'm not going to play anymore. And so playing with Tom Brady for the next year or two, that could be very, very appealing.
If the Patriots turn the 32nd pick of the draft into a year of Brandon Cooks on a cheap contract, and then turn that into the 23rd pick of the draft, and then the next year turn the 32nd pick of the draft into Odell Beckham, they are just playing three-dimensional chess while everyone else is playing Connect Four. Like, if that's how this turns out,
I don't think Odell.
I'm sorry, Antonio. I misspoke. Antonio Brown. I misspoke.
I just say for the record, I enjoy Buffalo very much. The weather's a little cold, but I really like Buffalo. I love the organization.
Okay, that's
I spent many winters up at Rich Stadium when it was Rich
Let's
Stadium.
get back to the NBA, Jim.
Back to the NBA now. Paul George is having an incredible season for the Thunder, most recently dropping back-to-back 40-point games against the Rockets and the Blazers. His success has boosted the conversation around his MVP chances, and his